Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and the title of this video is probably pretty blunt. This mini set, not good, might be one of the worst, if not the worst ever in Hearthstone history in terms of not only the power level of the cards, but the impact it's had on the meta. It's just been overwhelmingly negative in a lot of ways, but we're gonna go through the cards and just show like how bad it's performing. But on top of that, I want to talk about why it's almost more of a sign of a bigger problem. Not so much this mini set that's a problem, but the problem in Hearthstone itself. So we're going to talk about all that. Of course, I want to hear your takes in the comments down below. And we have a giveaway going on until Tuesday of a Ragnaros portrait, that mythic one. Very affordable at $60 or for free if you win our giveaway by entering in the giveaway link in the description below, the one with that thumbnail over there. Be subscribed to the channel, and yeah, on Tuesday we'll announce a new giveaway winner, and if we hit another 1,000 subs by then, we'll add a portrait to that giveaway. So hit that sub button, make me go broke. So you can see Mage, the top of the across all ranks leaderboard, the most contentious class of them all right now because of the mini set, right? They got a card we'll take a look at like later. Before this mini set came out, we did make a video of like, I hadn't seen this in forever. We had like 9 or 8 classes in the green. It's still pretty close. Deathlight not there, although Deathlight's good. I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, if you look at across the front page, it looks all right. Rogue's win rate's terrible, but really, are we that upset about Rogue and their Shadow Step being bad? And Rogue's not bad, by the way. It's the usual thing. At higher ranks, it's doing okay. But yeah, the impact of this mini set has been pretty, not amazing. And we'll do a talk about possible balance changes tomorrow. I don't want to talk about that today because today I want to talk about just the mini set, because typically I do like the worst cards of the mini set video, right? We drop down all the stats and all that. The thing is, it's not really that fun to do this time around, because if we look at the latest mini set, the traveling travel agency, typically I would go by like deck win rate and take a look at all the negative ones, right? And go over that. We might do that next weekend. We might do an updated thing like that. But I wanted to show you something that's crazy. If you look at the deck win rate for the newer cards, there's only, 7 cards of the 30 plus that are included in winning decks. And if we remove the sparse data, like you actually have better numbers, it's even less than that. We're at like 6. The craziest part is though, deck win rate, not a great indicator of the card, even though I use it for my video. Drawn win rate's probably the best thing you can show, because this stat here, because when you draw the card, that means and it ups the win rate, that means it's positively impacting your deck one way or the other. There's only 4 cards with the positive drawn win rate in standard from this mini set right now. And they are, of course, this card is obscene numbers. Portal Mancer Skyla, a card that allows you to play 0 mana tsunamis, do broken stuff. Travel Master Dungar, his play win rate's insane, but the deck he's in is bad because he cheats a bunch of mana. That's a broken thing, but the deck kind of sucks. Ice Crown Brochure, I guess, is probably like Highlander Shaman. It's okay. It's just whatever. And then Alloy Advisor, apparently, in a not so great deck and nothing too great about it. And then every other card from this mini set is not doing great, including Dream Planner Zephyrus. I have a video coming out later today, my Legend Climb, playing Blood Death Knight. The card's fine in it. Like Turbulence is fine in Reno Shaman. So you have some cards here that are like fringe, like Cash Cow. I know like Pizza hit rank 1 legend playing this, and Workhorse has been pretty good in Token Hunter. It's got a 50% win rate in the deck. This card's actually one of the worst parts of it. But you can see, yeah, a lot of these cards are doing either really bad or are barely playable, right? But the thing is, I just want to point out, if you look at these cards and what they can do, like, let's say Job Shadower. Let's say this card came out like 2 or 3 years ago, right? A 3 mana possible 8/6. That'd be pretty good, right? That wouldn't be that bad. Ungoro Brochure, draw 2 minions, buff 2 of them. The other flip side of that is draw 2 spells and get mana cheat. Yeah, that'd be in a ton of different decks. Burn Down, draw 3 cards. Maybe one gets burned, who cares? That'd be all right. Like, a lot of these cards, there's nothing really wrong or bad about them. And that's kind of my point. To make an impact in today's Hearthstone, where everything is so utterly insane and broken. We have cards like Razzle Dazzler for 6 mana that spawns at the bare minimum 1/5 drop, and usually a heck of a lot more than that on curve is just accepted as like, that's an okay card. It's all right. You know, you got the same thing with like Insanity Warlock, the 3/4. If you took a couple fatigue ticks easily on 4, I'm summoning 2, 3, 4, 3/3s. And that's kind of my point. Is the game is accelerated. It's so freaking ridiculous that led to an angry Zeddy tweet, by the way. We'll do this off the cuff, where I said, I hope the next balance patch, which we'll probably talk about tomorrow, we actually get follows up on that agency patch we had, right? They were trying to slow the game down, which that patch did. And then they stopped immediately after that. Then I'm beyond done with decks that spam infinite stats on turn 4 and 6, can deal infinite burst damage before you hit 10 mana, like, you know, infinite value, all that stuff. And that's kind of my point, is every deck is so crazy, so over the top, that if you want your mini set to have an impact, you need a card like Portalmancer Skyla. That's the card that lets you cheat 1 billion mana and do something utterly broken. That's what you need. You know, Dungar, I know it's not, I'm just gonna say in terms of Drawn Windwright. The Drawn Windwright's good. It's the example, the mass mana cheat, board scam, right? That's type of deal. And if you look at the meta itself, that's all the decks. Pain Warlock, spam 0 mana stuff, Pirate Demon Hunter, you got like Hosen, whatever, and buffing charges you can't interact with on turn 3 immediately. Big Shaman, cheating a bunch of stats. Evolved Shaman, cheating a bunch of stats. There's the big Spell Mage, cheating stuff. Spell Token Hunter, probably one of the more honorable decks. It just fights for board. It's just kind of good at it. Probably farms Mage a little bit, but you get what I mean. Like, all these decks are so insane. If you compare it to anything just a few years ago, I guess before Stormwind, they'd be insane. But now the game is accelerated so much that, yes, the mini set is not amazing. It's not super strong because everything else is so crazy. Everything else in the game is so nuts. We're buffing more cards than ever instead of slowing things down to get to this point. And, you know, another thing I kind of want to mention is, like, with buffs, would this deck have been nearly as bad, the big Spell Mage, if, you know, they didn't buff a card that was, you know, Conniving Con Man, right? This card, replay the last card you played from a non-rogue class before, was from not your class. But we gotta make the mana cheat card insane. They changed it, and now that Mage has access to this, yeah, Tsunami, Sunset Volley. In Paladin, it's spawning like Linesis, not Linesis spam, the whatever their Titan is spam. That, you know, when you buff cards that don't have the support, it breaks the game later. This is a topic we brought up, but yeah, I feel like this mini set, in theory, isn't really that bad, right? The cards are relatively, they can do good stuff. They would have been good in the past, but yeah, now if you want to make an impact, you need a Yogg. Remember Yogg? They had to make that was 0 mana on turn 4. That was a way to shake things up. Or Showdown of the Badlands mini set for Druid got like infinitely nerfed. And I do want to actually just steal content from Regis, because Regis, he might not play a lot of Hearthstone these days. He still follows it. He's got good insight, and he kind of replied to what I said about the game just being insane. And that's kind of, again, my thesis here of why the mini set kind of feels bad. You know, they're just going to buff the cards to be broken or something anyways. It's what they do now. Instead of slowing the game down, they need to accelerate it. But Regis says here, I worry Blizzard was enticed by Snap's shorter matches and have kept nudging the game that way. But you don't compete by matching someone else's strength. You reinforce your own. Simultaneous turns are a cheat code for game length that just, you can't do that in Hearthstone unless you play Zarimi Pre. So you just take multiple turns in a row, right? But he's talking about how, like, each player in Snap, they play at the same time, which is very ingenious the way it works. It's the best part of that game, like the mechanic of it. Again, Marvel Snap for me is a fun mechanical game. I like how it works. I hate their monetization. It makes Hearthstone look good. I'll just put it that way. It's why I quit. And I'm still bitter about it because I really like the game, but even I could get behind that monetization. Regardless, he continues to say, to me, Hearthstone's strengths were the delicate balance between resources and lethality that ebbed and flow across long battles. Now resources feel endless and lethality feels high. I also love the deep lore with splashes of fun, but it has been flanderized a bit for me. So yeah, I feel like this is kind of all related, at least to me. That's my feeling, is the mini set sucks, even though it has pretty good cards. They're overstated, do good things, but they don't cheat obscene mana or extremely synergize with prior decks, so therefore they're useless, they're garbage, wah, the mini set's bad, except when we get a card that is good enough to be powerful, it's utterly ridiculous, stupid, broken, and wah, we hate that, right? Like, it's really hard to find in between when everything in the game is so nuts, and we still have the third expansion of the year to come, that they want to sell those packs that will have to compete with all of this. And if we've seen with Perils and Paradise, it really hasn't as much of the prior sets, right? We've already seen it kind of toned down a little bit, and they're like panicking over that at the same time. I think Hearthstone has the harsh reality. It needs a reset. They need to use standard rotation next year as a real reset to slow things down, because at what point, where does it end? What cards do you need to make if Portalmancer Skyla is what it takes? And you know what? Know what the scary thing about Portalmancer Skyla is right now? This deck's falling off quite hard. It's not the best deck. It's the most popular, and I feel like they might maybe not even nerf it. Maybe it's okay because stuff is countering it, and the other stuff is just as insane. Everything's so insane. Is that good? I don't think so, and it's really, for me, making the games feel a lot less meaningful. But anyways, we'll probably talk about if we'll get a balance patch this week, tomorrow, possible hits, buff targets. I'm so sick of talking about buffs because it's just all this, but it's what they do. We'll probably talk about that tomorrow unless we get some news. But yeah, I just wanted to give my theory on why the mini set has felt so bad, is that I really don't think it's that bad. The game is just crazy, out of control, and utterly broken. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Stay tuned. Triple Blood Deathlight Legend Climb gameplay video coming later today. Really sweet deck. I'm actually going to keep playing ladder with it, I think. I always say that, but we'll see. Anyways, have a great day and stay salty, my friends.